Gordon, Democrats now have a 60-seat majority in the United States Senate. Al Franken's victory in Minnesota officially gives them a supermajority to overcome any filibuster by the GOP. But as John Jessup reports, in Washington politics, numbers don't necessarily add up to votes.
Thank you, everybody.
238 days after Election Day, Minnesotans finally have a second senator to represent them in Washington.
I am so excited to finally be able to get to work for the people of Minnesota.
Al Franken's victory makes him the Senate's first professional comedian, but the political saga of the last 7 months has been no laughing matter. Out of nearly 3 million people who voted, the final verdict came down to 312 votes, ending a bitter, months-long marathon court challenge.
The Supreme Court of Minnesota has spoken. I respect its decision, and I will abide by its result.
They've addressed the issues. It's time for Minnesotans to have 2 senators. It's past time.
Franken's win over Republican Norm Coleman also gives Democrats a 60-seat supermajority, the number needed to defeat a Republican filibuster, a tool used to block legislation or debate. With control of the Oval Office, the House, and the Senate, conservatives fear Democrats will be able to ram their agenda through Congress virtually unstoppable. But 60 in number doesn't necessarily mean Democrats have a solid block of 60 votes. The caucus is diverse and split on important issues ranging from energy to health care. And Franken declared his first priority will be to Minnesota.
The way I see it, I'm not going to Washington to be the 60th Democratic senator. I'm going to Washington to be the 2nd senator from the state of Minnesota, and that's how I'm going to do this job.
Franken has already taken some steps to make his transition a quick one, appointing a staff in waiting, including a chief of staff, a state director, and a communications team. John Jessup, CBN News, Washington.
California is officially broke, and the state may have to start issuing creditors IOUs. Budget officials say California is $24 billion in debt with no real plan to get out of it.
Where do we go from here? We have a real crisis bearing down on us in a couple of days. We know you don't want to see IOUs.
California state Democrats say they can prevent the IOUs if cuts are made to education immediately, but that idea has no support from Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. A Washington, D.C. judge says voters cannot decide on whether the district will recognize same-sex marriages performed outside the Capitol. The judge affirmed an earlier ruling by the D.C. Board of Elections. It ruled that allowing voters a say on the issue of gay marriage would violate the District Human Rights Act. The judge's decision strikes down a lawsuit filed by Bishop Harry Jackson of Maryland's Hope Christian Church and 6 other plaintiffs. A teenage girl who is the only known survivor of that Yemeni jet crash is conscious and recovering in a hospital. Her family says the 14-year-old girl could barely swim but held on long enough for rescuers to find her in the Indian Ocean. One of the plane's 2 black boxes has been recovered. The Airbus 310 crashed while attempting to land in high winds on the Comoros Islands, killing 153. Virginia police will begin writing tickets to people who text while they drive. Virginia, the 14th state to make texting behind the wheel illegal. New research finds that driving while texting can be even more dangerous than driving drunk. Car and Driver magazine compared the results of drivers who text to the effects of drunk driving. The focus of the test was on the driver's reaction time, and results showed that the texting drivers did worse than the impaired drivers. The Consumer Product Safety Commission held its annual fireworks safety demonstration in Washington. It stressed the importance of staying safe over the upcoming 4th of July weekend. Last year, there were 7 fireworks-related deaths and an estimated 7,000 injuries. You can always get the latest from CBN News by going to our website at cbn.com.